Thank you, James, and good morning, or good afternoon now, everybody. How are you? Thank you so much for being here, and let me congratulate all of you, because it does take, I was thinking about this after the morning session, it does take a lot of courage for you to dive into this area with your businesses, because as these two gentlemen have mentioned, it's hard. It's not easy. So I want to talk a little bit about why it's important to us as a company and how invested we are and what that means for you. Within Morgan Murphy, within Cap K-View, this is where we live. We have invested ourselves in the digital world. That's why we're all here today. The other advantage for you is the fact that we are local. We are your friends and neighbors. You can reach out and touch us. You can shake our hands. You can speak to us. You already have relationships with us. We're not going to be a Portland agency that you've never heard from calling Charlie saying, I think we can help you sell a lot more hardware, or telling Michael, we can help you market the cancer center. They don't know where the cancer center is in the Tri-Cities, but they'll call you and try to do business with you just because they found your name on a list or a number on the phone book. We are local. We are invested in this community, and this is, as Brian mentioned, is the next step, hence the name Phrase 3. You know, it kind of struck me, I was thinking a little bit after the morning session, when we get new employees, this is how invested we are as a company in the digital world. When I get a new employee in the news department, one of the first things they do after they fill out their personnel form, and after they fill out their W-4, and after they do their I-9, and as soon as we get them into the system, one of the first things they get is a Twitter handle. Probably before they're even on the air, before they do anything else for us, that's one of the first few things that we do for them. Why? So that they can be invested in the digital world and help us reach the numbers that we're reaching through social media. Now, why is that important, and how does that manifest itself on our day-to-day operations? Well, you, of course, want more customers, right? You are my customers. Each and every one of you is a potential news customer throughout the entire day. How many of you, since you left the house this morning, have checked Twitter, checked Facebook, checked some sort of website or something on your phone to see what the heck's been going on since you left the house? All right, at least half of you. That's the way my end of the business has changed, and that's reflective in what our company as a whole is trying to do. Used to be, you went about your day, you came home, you sat down, you watched the 5 o'clock news, you watched the 6 o'clock news, or maybe you listened to a 5-minute radio report as you were driving around town throughout the day. It's not like that anymore. From our end, it's a continuing conversation all day long in the digital world, and that's how things have changed. I tell my staff, and we are invested, and we try to do it perfectly every day. We don't do it, as perfect some days as others, but we try to do, and our goal is that by the time you watch that newscast at the end of the day, we don't even want it to be fresh news anymore, believe it or not. We want it to be an expansion of what we've already told you through this, throughout the day. So it's a continuing conversation. It's an investment throughout the day in talking to you as our customers the same way you do to yours. And the world has shrunk. Just like your customers, they no longer look through a phone book to find you and call you and then go to your store. They can go like this on a website, right? Same thing for us. We're trying to reach customers all day long, and so the way your world has shrunk, that's the same way our world has shrunk. There used to be what was called a one-week news cycle. A story would, be news for a week, and that kind of shrunk, to 72 hours. You've heard the term 24-hour news cycle. The cable networks have had a lot to do with that. Well, sometimes in the digital world, a story, a conversation, something that happens in our community, talk about the weather today. Sometimes that news cycle is 10 minutes or 15 minutes. We can discuss it on the digital world via social media and so on and so forth. A lot of times, that conversation, that little bitty news cycle, may not even make our broadcast later in the day. And that's just indicative of how much things have changed. And that's indicative of how invested our company as a whole, and through its newest outreach, is invested in the digital world. Thank you.